Hello and good morning to you. This is Cliff Graves from the current, soon to finish Trainwell Boxing Ltd. I hope you lovely listeners and watchers are fit and well. So I've almost said it in one sentence, haven't I? Trainwell Boxing Ltd will cease. This will be the last video that we do. However, the positive is we are rebranding. We are rebranding into something so exciting. And we are literally moments away from launch of this. I'm not going to say too much more about it, but it is going to be so exciting. If you are a gym owner, specifically independent gym owner, wherever in Europe, doesn't necessarily have to be on the British Isles, the UK, wherever you are, even across the pond, in the beautiful, lovely United States, Australia, New Zealand. Exciting times are ahead for you. So if you are blinkered to business, I don't want to say too much, and I want to use the right terminology. If you are interested in bolting on an almost side hustler business, a business in a box, to your existing business that will complement it, you have got to just keep abreast of developments, and they will come, and they will come. I can assure you of that. To find us and our new company, just go to Boxing Videos and you'll find us for sure. Boxing Videos by Cliff Graves, and you'll find us. Reasons why we are having to close off and close up Trainwell Boxing Ltd. We are an online e-commerce business. So we are reliant on a bells and whistles performing website, e-commerce, online e-commerce shop. We were going great guns until April 2024. And now hang on. I keep thinking we're in 2025. I told you these videos were unrehearsed. I apologize. That would have been April 2025, not 2024. I apologize. I'm sorry. We were going great guns until April 2025. And then we engaged, who will remain nameless, a website design development agency. The whereabouts of them will remain anonymous, to get to work, go to work, and produce us a high-performing e-com website shop. Just recently, towards the end of 2025, I thought something isn't quite right here, so I got a website auditor to do me an audit, and it was revealed that Google was not indexing Trainwell Boxing anymore, because this company that I engaged in April 2025 had done me a bad turn. I asked this auditor to justify their findings, and they said, well, Google does not like white background with white text on it. That was one of the things this company had done, and they did not tell me they were doing it. And my greenness and newness to and lack of knowledge with e-commerce design meant I was almost like the lamb to the slaughter. Google really will punish you severely if you try and do underhand tactics such as that. White background, white text, which is very hard visibly to the naked eye, but it's there, and from an algorithmic point of view, it picks it up. But it is not acceptable practice by Google. So I took advice, and you know, if you are an online business shop, take heed, because in 2026, Google has gone from moderate to stringent. So that means you will need to be verified, your business, via Google. You will need to play it by the book with Google, because one foul up and, you know, you potentially risk just Google saying, right, fair enough. You want to play it like that, fair enough. We're just not going to verify you. We're not going to index you. No, it's not happening. No. Why? Because there are so many scamsters. And in a devious way, and only from a devious way, are pretty adept at what they're doing, pretty clever. And they will use artificial intelligence, AI, to attempt to scam you. Sadly, there are these dark lists where you can go on if you've been a victim, which clearly Trainwell Boxing had. I never thought in 100,000 years this company would have done what they did. And I tried to defend them. And this highly experienced auditor said, you wait and see what happens in 2026. That's why the arsehole dropped out and away in April 2025, because Eventually, Google caught up with it and said, we ain't having that. We're not indexing this company anymore. So reluctantly, and I say reluctantly, we will have to do something known as 410 Trainwell Boxing. But I'm a boxer, and my mentality is to fight on, determined, with perseverance, and to look at positives, change negatives into positives. And you know, it ain't over until the fat lady sings, my friends. And you know, people that have been listening to these videos would know my faith as a Christian. And yes, you know, I have been blessed with something better that will be stronger, better, compliant with Google in 2026. And as I speak, people are beavering away, developing all sorts. I've had my fingers burnt once and not again. So highly exciting things are imminent. We still will give you boxing advice for free. You won't have to subscribe to these monthly subscriptions where they're ripping you off for how to, for example, how to punch more powerfully. When what they're advocating there is the stretch shortening cycle and all of this, which you can only use at certain times in a boxing tournament, whether it's 3 rounds amateurs or 12 rounds professional high level. You can only use that because you leave yourself wide open for counters. Now, if you take somebody like, say, Canelo Alvarez, Triple G, Terence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, if you take those high-level fighters, do you think that they're going to stand there while you wind right the way up and get the stretch shortening cycle going, which granted is a powerful punch, but it's extremely slow. And yes, you can use it. More than probable when somebody's backed up against the ropes or you've initiated it with a slowing down body blow or something like that. We lift the lid off of all of that and we bring you new and fresh ideas, right, that you can dispel or embrace for free, folks. You don't have to pay your hard-earned shekels to a monthly subscription for complete rubbish. Similarly, with training exercises, we bring you the best. We do the leg work. We do the hard work. We do all the research for and on behalf of you so we can bring you stuff, present you stuff and say, here it is. Here's the ideas we've got. We're presenting them to you to do with as you please. Discard, don't like it. Embrace, like it. For nothing other than to recognize us as the real McCoy. Boxing is my life. 62 this year. Am I going to go and compete again? No. Why? Because a 25-year-old would take my head off. But I have it in here, a whole wealth of knowledge that, again, like I say, you can either embrace or discard. You're not wasting any money, your hard-earned cash, whatsoever. All you're investing in is the time it takes to produce a video such as this over a coffee. And that will remain when we set up our new company. A company, limited company, sole trader, has to make money to survive. Otherwise, it fails to be a business. So we make our money, but we don't do it by charging for boxing training advice, even if it's a $5 a month. No, we don't. Or any other advices. So please, what I ask for you to do on that is to watch out for us, because we got some really exciting times ahead, I can tell you. And you will be so pleased. So pleased. We're in our new home now, just moving in, lots of stuff everywhere, as you can imagine. But I am so excited. I'm so happy. I just want to finish off clearing up just a few little bits and pieces. This will be the last time, the last video of Trainwell Boxing. So there's little loose ends I want to clear up. One of which is the complete falsehood of evolution. The evolutionists say, but we have science. We have science that backs up everything we say. From isotoping to the Big Bang to all different manner of things. And yet when you pose the most simplest of questions to them, they shake their heads. We don't know. All of them have had this question posed to them. Richard Dawkins, the whole charade. Can you please, in one clear and concise, non-war and peace effort, provide me definitive scientific evidence of how everything all started? You'll never get one clear, concise, definitive sentence. Why? Because what they try to do is they try to hit you over the head and baffle you with long liturgical words and long paragraphs and long-winded reads. It's like reading a foreign language. I say this to you, Mr. Scientist. You claim to have all the answers, the meaning of life. Correct or incorrect? Tell me in one clear, concise sentence what that is. And you know what? They can't. No, they won't. They can't. Because they don't know. Now, the cop-out for these scientists is then to say, look, we're scientists. I won't say who said this. We're scientists and we jolly well roll up our sleeves and get to work solving it. Well, we're still waiting, aren't we, for that to happen? Oh, we're getting closer. Bullshit. Lies and deceit. They're no more closer than when Darwin was having a go at it, and all of them. They're no more closer, and they won't get no more closer because they don't know. Then there's but do you know? Do you know? They say. That is when we as Christians, the Christian faith, will respond by saying, we was not around 6,000 to 8,000 years ago, admittedly. So we can't actually claim to be a not expert witness. What do they call it when a witness has seen a scene? We can't claim to be that because we weren't around 6,000 to 8,000 years ago, were we? But we have a faith. We have a faith. We also have a very large, thick Bible. What do you have, Mr. Scientist? Ice tape, all that. Oh, I said, I don't want to know about all of that. I want you to tell me, what was it that caused the cause and effect? What was the initiator? Can't use the description divine spark. What was the start? And they don't know. So they throw stones at us saying, oh, you know, it's a religion. A religion is a belief. And actually, religion has sets of rules that you must abide by and you mustn't abide by, etc., etc. Well, you could say that that is in with the 10 Commandments, but that shows us how to live. Is it good to be a drunkard, adulterer, thief and murderer? Of course it's not. It shows us how to live. We have from Genesis 1 right the way through to the end of Revelation, verse after verse, chapter after chapter, page after page of verification that the Bible's word is the truth. And it's by faith and faith alone that we accept it as the truth. There are historical artifacts housed, I believe, in the Museum of Jerusalem. There has been modern day unanswerable things where people have been just cured of life-threatening illnesses. And the secular doctors have said, that's it, it's end of the road time. And then there has been in the Bible. So we have a faith in the Bible. But what do you evolutionists have? Well, yours is a religion then, isn't it? Because you have a belief, don't you, in billions of years. That's your belief, isn't it, evolutionist? Isn't it? So, you know, I am yet to have an evolutionist just give me one clear, concise, that an old duffer like me can decipher, can understand. One clear, concise sentence. The Big Bang was the initiator of it all. Well, me as the inquirer, I still have answers to that, to say, well, what caused the Big Bang then? Oh, I've had answers before. Gases combusting. And it wasn't an explosion. In fact, it was an implosion. Oh, really? Pick up your Oxford Dictionary and go to gas, what the definition of a gas is. And you will see it is a tangible substance. Now go and look up tangible, the word tangible and substance, and you will find it is of somethingness. They're not very, we like to talk about methane gas, which we all know what that is. But what chemical elements make up methane gas? They are of something. So to say gases just were there is quite ludicrous. It's actually very childish. How can you say that? Out of nothingness came somethingness. We're talking cosmic evolution now. How can you say that, Mr. Evolutionist? How can you say that without it being creation? Because you cannot have somethingness out of nothingness without calling it creation. Turning now to biological evolution. Another cop-out where the evolutionists believe we came from apes. So my question is, if we came from apes, what was we before? And what are we going from, evolving from after humanity? Oh, that's easy, the evolutionists say. We came from the sea. We started off, Cliff, as an amoeba. And we are evolving into higher versions of humanity. What a load of old toffee. Honestly. My next ponderable is if we look at the Darwinian artistic theory, that he must have had it Charles Darwin there in his head. He just happened to have it painted, but it was there in his skull. So my ponderable is, you know, the thing where I'm talking about, from the chimpanzee, the ape, going through the stages to the human at the other end. Well, we know that apes still exist, don't we? Apes is the uniform word for gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees. We know the ape world exists. We know chimpanzees still exist. We know silverback gorillas exist. We know orangutans still exist. We know they still are in existence. That's at one end of the spectrum. And of course, we know that human beings at the right other end of the spectrum exist. So tell me this, Mr. and Mrs. Evolutionist. What has happened to the other stages depicted in the artist's imagery? What has happened to them? Oh, they say, there's been sightings of Yeti Man. Is it Yeti Man they call? That lives deep out in the Amazon forest. Oh, really? Well, have you got any definitive scientific evidence to back that up? No. And you never will, because it's lies and deception. Some of you evolutionists become quite aggressive. But you have to look at this simplistically. Again, I reiterate, tell me, evolutionists, with backed up white paper, conclusive, definitive, scientific evidence, what was the initiator of it all? Because there had to be, for cosmic and biological evolution to stack up, and you don't know. And this is where Christianity comes to the fore, and it says, we have the answers in our Bible. And there's a difference. So I was hoping just to contain this to half an hour. It's gone over for 3 minutes. But it just leaves me to say that I've had great fun with Trainwell Boxing. It's being closed down because we need to 410 it, not because of our own doings and wrongdoings at that. Others, we have greater things for you on the horizon. Please watch out for them. This is Cliff Graves from Trainwell Boxing. Take it easy. Ciao.